Greetings everybody, and welcome back to Chapter Master. That's correct. Alright, so still haven't thought of a theme or a generalized theory. I thought about redoing the Storm Knights again, but I actually am writing a lore video for them, which is going to it's going to be rather long and it's going to be rather convoluted. But you know, that's kind of my lore, so you know. As I said, when I did my Void Knights Legion lore, I ended up hating that video because I cut out so much from it. But otherwise, if I hadn't, it would have been an hour long. So I'm just going to embrace it, and any future lore videos about my own content is going to be an hour long. But today, I honestly thought let's just be completely vanilla. Just no advantages, no disadvantages, nothing to worry about. We're just going to be completely vanilla. And what's more vanilla than the Ultramarines? Also, that's not accurate. I'm barely certain. Alright. Successor chapters 27. I think it's a bit more than that now, but yes. Power Fist with integrated bolters. Alright. We are the warrior sons of Macragge, the Knights of Ultramar. I must admit, you have to blame Matt Ward for what happened to the Ultramarines quite a bit. But the Ultramarines themselves are not bad. I like their lore as a legion. I think their legion lore is actually quite cool. And as I said, Gilliman himself is not too bad. And there's some good Ultramarine characters out there. But it's just, yeah. Matt Ward got into them and they became the paragon of everything that's supposed, you know, the perfection of Space Marines instead of being what they should have been, which is basically just a decent, you know, the Jack of all trades chapter. It's kind of 60 space. Yes, alright, we've got all the Land Raiders on board. Can we get the Rhinos for first company? Just! Oh, jolly good. Nice to have some battle barges. But yeah. And it's interesting they've become the poster boys, because for the longest time it was the Blood Ravens that were the poster boys. Microphone stand was rocking around, I had to fix that. But yeah, the Blood Ravens were the poster boys for quite a while, which I kind of like more. I mean, I'm a sucker for blue, it's my favourite colour, so I do like the blue Ultramarine scheme, but Blood Ravens are a little bit more interesting. But I guess with no Dawn of Wars being out, and no Dawn of Wars worth mentioning being out for the longest time, they probably dropped off the perception radar for a while. But they really should be back. Like, I really genuinely think we need a proper Dawn of War again, and we need it not to be a bloody MOBA. Centuri's Revenge. What is Centuri's Revenge? Oh, another battle barge. Well, that's good. We can bring a lot more vehicles, although it's a wise idea. It's always on these sort of things to have at least one company upon the homeworld. So we're going to have 6 company. It's going to be on the homeworld just in case. We're going to have a couple of Tech Marines. We'll transfer them to 6 company. Come on, Chapter Master, don't glitch on me. You're being a bit laggy today. Jeez. I mean, I'm on a bloody 6-core, 16 gig RAM setup. You shouldn't be lagging at all. And the graphics should be fine. If a 1080 Ti cannot handle this game, then I need to upgrade my computer. Although, I'm currently interested in buying more firearms than I am upgrading my computer. Yes, I've joined the New Zealand Antique Arms Society and the Historical Reenactment Society. So my finances have been going into that lately. 4th company. Ooh, do you have the correct name? No! What? You don't have Titus? Not Titus, he was 2nd company. You don't have Ventress? You don't have Ventress in 4th company? Oh, your accuracy is off the crapper, people. Although I guess you can't really change the individual captains for names, for companies, aside from. Oh, I can't rename him. I was quickly looking for a button to see if I could rename him, but I can't. Oh, that's so annoying. Alright, at least that we can do is bloody make him look like Ventress. So Ventress himself had a suit of Mark 8, which we possess. He did have Mark 8, didn't he? Or was he Mark 7? Damn it. I'm sure Ventress had Mark 7. No, he had Mark... nah, screw it. Pretty sure Ventress had Mark 8 power armor, and he had his power sword. So we're going to give him a power sword and a bolt pistol, because that's what he was armed with. Power sword, and we're going to give him Mark 8. And didn't he have an iron halo? We don't have an iron halo, but it's okay. Ah, bastard. Sorry, this is my anal retentiveness coming out in this game. I like things to be accurate, and I like things to be neat and tidy. Alright, 4th Company Captain. Re-equip. You need a power sword. Your bolt pistol is fine. You need Mark 8 armor, and you need an iron halo. There. That's probably about as best as we'll do, but that can be the substitute for Ventress. Alright, 6th Company is on the planet. Transfer a couple of Populgaries around. 2nd. Transfer to 4th. I guess we'll transfer one to 6th as well and land them on the planet. So 6, unload to the planet. Oh, Calgar does have some honor guard. That's good. It should be Mark 6 power armor or Mark 4. Oh, I haven't re-enabled the... I keep bloody meaning to re-enable the heresy mod. Gameplay changes so you can purchase, Mark 10, Mark 3 and 4 and stuff like that. I really should do that. Alright, but for the sake of completionist, we're going to replace their armor with Mark 6. Just for the sake of the extra defensive bonus. Alright. Bright Warp. Oh, yeah. We'll reload them onto the Centauri's Revenge. Cool. Alright, and off we go. We're seeing the Centauri's Revenge. And... oh, I meant to do that the other way, but oh well, doesn't matter. Right. Rude. Ecclesiarchy sods. Okay, we shall shoot up north and deal with these guys. But yeah, as I was saying, I actually like the Ultramarines because they're... I mean, a lot of people think they're boring, but they're the jack of all trades. And they have some good characters to redeem them. It's just, unfortunately, they have had a period of being better than the rest, which is perpetuated by Matt Ward and that crew. Because it wasn't just him alone, although he was the main proprietor of it. But Gilliman's actually a flawed character. I mean, you have Cassius, who is probably a pretty awesome character as well. Tigerius, a little bit of a Mary Sue just because he has Melkor of the Sigillites' 4 staff and all that shit. And then, of course, you've got Ventress. The Scout, although he's not named Jack. You've got the Scout with the awesome sniper rifle. Also, the Captain of the 10th. He had a cool sniper rifle. And he had a power sword as well. Okay, do you have a sniper rifle? Yes. Right. And what we can do now is replace your power fist with, say... with a power sword? Not good. Alright. Yeah, because power sword doesn't affect negative damage now. in terms of armor, again we need to mark 6 plate for captain of the 10th company. Because we want the 10% range bonus. Good. Alright, range attack 112%, 120 damage, melee splash. 60 dam, 25 ammo, 25 range, 10% range. That is good. Medical field kit. 33% damage resistance isn't too bad. Damage resistance jump pack. Excellent. Right. I suppose they can move up to the boneyard while they can move north. But yeah, there's been some cool things in the Ultramarines. As I said, I like the Heresy era Ultramarines. Probably one of my more favourite legions, just because I like the idea that they were thieves, basically. Guilliman had zero creativity when it came to inventing new things, and he'd keep pinching tactics, weapons, and ideas off his brothers. Like, he invented the new a type of power axe for his Invictari Suzerain, I think they were called. But the thing is, he only came up with the design after seeing how the design, seeing multiple generations of power armor designs. Or he created a new suit of Cataphracti Terminator plate for his Terminators, but he copied it from the Iron Warriors. And again, I think he copied something else from the Salamanders. I think a flame tactic or something. He copied the Moritat for his own legion from Korax. So it's just 500 Marines. It's not a bad good force. It's just I like the idea of the Ultramarines being literal pre-Blood Ravens in terms of just not so much stealing items, but stealing ideas, tactics, and weaponry off other people. That's just a fascinating sort of idea. And I also like the fact that Guilliman was not completely infallible. Like, they got their butts beaten at Calf, and they had suffered a lot of damage for the Shadow Crusade. And the Ultramarines were not unbeatable. It's just they were the ones with the highest numbers left at the end of the Heresy, which is why they got to dictate so much of the Great Scouring and the thing after it. An example, I imagine if the Dark Angels were in charge, had the largest legion and came to the rescue more than the Ultramarines did, then the Lion may have had a greater say in Imperial politics afterwards. I think Dawn would have probably had the greatest influence on Imperial politics after the Heresy in terms of terror and the High Lords, but I think at that point he was far too depressed and miserable to really be focusing too much, so he just sort of argued with Guilliman as best he could, but didn't truly put enough effort into it, because I think he was on the verge of wanting to put a bolter in his round after everything that happened. But Dawn actually fought the siege. He was the main architect. He was the Praetorian, after all. So he probably would have had a greater say with the High Lords and Imperial bureaucracy and governance than Guilliman would have. Except Guilliman Guilliman was more of a politician, and Guilliman had the greater legion strength afterwards. So he led the Scouring and was able to push his own agenda through. Again, I think it was kind of only Guilliman and Dawn that were left, but Dawn didn't have the heart for it anymore. The Lion just vanished. Korax was suicidally emo, realizing that they were all made of warp energy, and half of himself wanted to kill himself and the other half wanted to kill everything else. Vulcan was just too miserable. Well, he had endured a lot, so you can't really blame him too much. Russ himself was kind of blaming himself for everything that had gone on. Damn, Extreme. You cannot attack Extreme. You just don't. Good thing we got a battle barge. I don't really like bombing as a tactical approach, however. Oh, sofa! It's been overrun by orks instead of tyranids. How crazy. But I don't really like using bombing as a tactic because it's just a little bit dickish, but you honestly cannot attack extreme orks no matter what you've got. Even raiding, it's just a stupid suicide mission. But yeah, Gilliman just had the political willpower and the authority and manpower to back it up. Russ was, well, all of them went bloody depressed. Sanguinius was dead. If Sanguinius hadn't have died, I think he would have probably agreed with Gilliman, but I think he would have definitely become the more of a figurehead. Although I don't think he would have wanted it, because he didn't want to be War Master, and he didn't like being Emperor of Imperium Secundus. But I think it would have been forced on him, because he was definitely more of a role model and a icon for the Imperial citizenry. So people would have liked that. I think it would have been Sanguinius basically the figurehead, you know, going around encouraging people and keeping it together in public. Gilliman doing the bureaucracy behind him. And Dorm probably trying to fit in where he could. Yeah. The Angel was a hard loss for the Imperium. It really was. He was just that influential icon that the Imperium really needed after the heresy. Because he had such a good benefit and impact upon the morale and things of the Imperial army and the soldiery. And he was a skilled diplomat in his own right. Now, it mentioned there was an ork war. Oh no, I think it was just saying the orcs are getting a bit more rowdy. That's not too bad. Right. Alright, we'll have those Ultramarines move to sofa. And we may as well have a look at the ancient ruins. And we'll have the Temp Company look at it. Although, again, since I'm actually going to make this a playthrough until I'm bored sort of thing, we may as well actually outfit these guys out properly. Two flamers a company, at least one melter gun a company. Plasma guns are bloody expensive, although that freaking damage is great. We've got sniper rifles, assault cannons, missile launchers. Oh, we're running a deficit on power swords. Oh, that's power fists. Bugger. Oh well. We may as well just buy some inventory of items. I might grab a couple chain fists. Grab a thunder hammer. And we'll grab a storm bolter. That gives us an easy and even 1,000. Now the reason I was wanting a couple chain fists was for the Terminators. Chain fist. And we're going to replace your power fist with a thunder hammer. But I think the first company captain did have a fist. TH. At the end there. Damage of the power. Thunder hammer, yeah, 300 damn melee splash, armor piercing. Well, that one's 300 damn melee splash. So you're paying for the armor piercing effect, which isn't too bad. Also, you should be Cato Sicarius. Yeah. Do we have any? We don't have any librarians. You need a power sword because that's what Cato Sicarius is about. You need a power sword and nah, nothing else. Yeah, you need a power sword for Cato Sicarius. Sicarius did have Mark 8. I think most of the Ultramarine captains had Mark 8. Or they had Mark 7 and I'm just having a coma and misremembering. It's not Spiridon, it's Captain Sicarius. Who, I don't know, I don't see why Sicarius reminds Guilliman of Ruddy... Not Ventanus, not Ventress, Aenid Feel. Like, because one of the reasons Guilliman in the new lore is, you know, trying to personally tutor Sicarius is because it reminds him of Aenid Feel. But Aenid Feel fought outside the box. He was a bit of a rebel, a loose cannon. I mean, he was imprisoned for writing a thesis on how to fight and defeat Space Marines just before the heresy broke out, which, again, the officer who freed him from, you know, his incarceration remarked on that was incredibly ironic at this point. He helped write pieces of the Codex, and he wrote them on his own bloody battle plate when his internal systems ran out. Just things like that. So it's just kind of interesting, one of those sort of things. Yeah, 2 heavy bolters and a flamer. The rest can be armed with sniper rifles, so we'll leave it at that. But anyway, we're going to send Temp Company to have a look at those ruins and hope the game doesn't crash. Alright, 5 Chaos Space Marines. 96 sniper rifles, obliterate them. Nice. Oh, cool. So we found a defensive bunker system. Well, that's not too bad. We'll load up Temp Company to the battle barge. Alright, I guess we'll load up. Why can we not? Fleet. 503 out of 600. Where's the additional numbers? How many is 103? So there's an extra 3 Marines on board the flagship, so that's why we can't fit 10th Company on board the flagship. Although, I guess keeping them in a separate escort is alright. A strike cruiser. Weird. Alright. Well. Nice. Why have we made an enemy in the Mechanicus? That's weird. Defense is none. That's weird. I thought we upped the defenses, but oh well. Right. But yeah, Aenid Field was nothing like Sicarius. Aside from them being decent swordsmen, I mean, that's about it. Unless Guilliman wants to make Sicarius so they think a little bit more like Field, then that would be kind of interesting. But I don't really think that's what Guilliman's going for. I also like that he managed to feel when the word bearers attacked the McCrags on her and started ripping through the thing. As I said, he was incarcerated in the Primarch's chambers awaiting the Primarch's judgment on him, and he was amusing himself by messing around with the Primarch's personal weapons collection. So when the word bearers attacked, he actually he was freed by he actually freed himself and then ran into the captain who officially freed him. But he stole an electromagnetic longsword and I think it was an artificer power axe, and he was running around with them, and then he gave the artificer axe to the captain, but he kept the electromagnetic longsword, and Guilliman actually officially gifted it to him. I just like that he's, you know, where did you get your sword from? Oh, I stole it from the Primarch's personal armory, and he just let me keep it. It was kind of a cool story for him. Right, there we don't deal with them. I like just nice and simple purging the orks. Oh yes, I was going to give assault cannons to those Terminators. Good, thank you for reminding me, audience, even though you didn't actually remind me. Stormbolter, let's get some assault cannons. Also, if we equip them with missile launchers, does that actually count as a missile launcher? Oh, it counts as a missile launcher. It doesn't really count as a shoulder-mounted missile launcher. But you know what? I'm going to keep it. Just because that image looks amusing to my brain. Right. Oh yes, sofa. Let's just have first company attack. I imagine what will happen is the Land Raiders will obliterate the column. Yep. Although the 3 assault cannons from the Terminators got a few shots in, which is good. Ooh, quite reminding me again. We're gonna push the Rhinos to the front, I think. And we'll push the Terminators to the assault Marines. On a guard can go back just to cover Devastators from any threats. Veterans and tacticals are fine where they are. Right, that's a bit better. The raid tactics, again, probably push the Terminators up and that should be about fine. Again, on a guard goes at the back just to... You have to worry about the flanking lictors, remember, boys. Right, that should be okay for defensive tactics. Again, Terminators go up. Good. Oh yes, board nearest vessel, use plasma bombs, automatic boarding. Shove that in there just for the sake of it. Good. Nicely done. And Sofa has been relieved. Although none of those worlds is a dead world, and none of those worlds has Mount Barros on it. So I think it was a doubling up of names rather than anything else. Oh. Ancient ruins. You know what that means, lads. Yep, it is time for the cheeky tactical save to make sure the game doesn't crash. Alright, again we'll send in 10th Company because 10th Company can do the job. Power Fist. Well, that's not too bad. Yes, Spear's Heart. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. One of those names was amusing to me. Mason's Revenge. I wonder who Mason was. Well, he was the protagonist of the Call of Duty Black Ops series, but, you know, I'm just thinking who he was in this particular case. To Castellax. Alright. STC. Oh. Let's have a look. I think raiding against heavy forces, yeah, because we've got multiple companies, it should be fine. Good. Although I don't think there's any tech marines attached to them. That's slightly annoying. I should have buffered out the tech marines before we started. That's a rookie move, but I guess we'll just keep a note on it and move on. Right. Oh, that's probably going to come up in the record. I apologise. The family dog can be a kind of cunt. Forgive my French. On occasion. Right. Space Marines. Damn. Ooh. Ooh, artifact. Well, I mean, if the chapter master of the Ultramarines and his honor guard goes to a world of 457 people and requests their artifact, then exactly, they won't be asking for compensation, will they? Good. Alright. Ooh, Grya. That's the Forge World. That was the the star of Space Marine. Pity that game never got a sequel. It was a decent enough game, and I quite liked it. I think I've told the story before somewhere on the channel before, but as I said, one of my earliest experiences with online clans was in a clan for Warhammer 40k Space Marine on the PS3, the PlayStation version, and wow, that was interesting. There was like a civil war, 2 succession crises, and half the members quit the first month I joined that group, and then I hung out with them for like 3-4 months before realizing we didn't do anything. We didn't even play the game that much. We sat in lobbies listening to the bloody guy in charge talking about how great he was and how he had exclusive access to Eternal Crusade Alpha and shit. In hindsight, he was a overcompensating little 14-year-old, because I think I was like 16 at this point. No, 17. I was 17. And I actually conclude it as 4 months of my life very well wasted. And I actually regret the fact that I spent so many hours just mucking around in bloody lobbies listening to the little overlord going on about how important he was. But sometimes you don't really realize how you fucked up until the future. Which, story of my life, isn't it? Oh well. Bright Warp. Bright Warp is first company. And the rest of these guys. So why is it saying they're still on sofa? There's nobody there on sofa. Oh dear, the game's bugged out. Okay. The game's bugged out. It thinks they're still on sofa. Damn. Those Chaos Space Marines just got fucking obliterated. Nice. Right, load everyone up onto the Bright Warp. They're all on board the Spearheart. But it says they're on sofa. That's so weird. And it says sofa still has orks on it, but A, that's not sofa. And B, it thinks it's on Solania? Spearheart. No, how did 10th Company get over here? How did 10th Company teleport when 10th Company was originally with the... They're on the Bright Warp. Okay, I'm honestly not questioning life at the moment. We're just going to... That's so weird. It's so weird indeed. I'm sure someone in the comments will point out, you do realize like ages ago you did this, and this, and I'll be like, oh, I did not know that. Damn, 346 damage for a freaking plasma gun? Oh, that's not worth selling, that's worth keeping. Who should get it though? You don't want to completely ruin theming. You don't want to give it to Sicarius. What about the third company captain? Why not? Also, we got power armor. Yeah, we'll give the third company captain this awesome badass plasma gun and this suit of power armor. And then we'll give this power fist to the first company captain. Although he does have a thunder hammer. Give it to the first company captain. We can always give the power hammer, thunder hammer to someone else. So we're going to give him that. And we're going to give the third company captain that. And then we will replace his power fist because it will have a negative impact upon his ranged with an axe, because we're feeling sassy. And now he has 30 armor class power armor and a frickin' artificial plasma gun with 346 damage, so he is going to be nice and formidable. You've got a mastercrafted fun power thing, and who do we want to give the thunder hammer to? Somebody cool. Well, first off, can you get a suit of Mark 8? We were out of Mark 8. Can you get Mark 6? Yes, you can get Mark 6, and we're going to give you the thunder hammer. Oh, you have to have 70 XP for it. Oh. Wow, sucks to be you, I suppose, then. Again, what experience does the captain have? 40. He has less experience than the chaplain or the company champion? Weird. Alright, we're killing orks. Ooh, Istvan! Again. Oh no, that system does still exist. Istvan 3 is a hive world? That's actually completely accurate. Well done, game. That should be Istvan 5. I don't remember much about the other Istvans. Alright. Let's launch a nice full-scale attack. Put on a bit of a show for the population. Courage and honor. Courage and honor is actually a pretty cool battle cry, let's be honest. It's better than We March for Macragge. That's pretentious. For the Emperor and Sanguinius isn't too bad either. Ordu Jagatai, or, for Jagatai, the White Scars one's pretty good. But Courage and Honor is, like, not a bad battle cry at all. If someone, shouted Courage and Honor, upon, like, a battlefield, then I'd perfectly be like, yeah, that's legit. 29 Terminators. Any of them wounded? It's just a weird number to have. Not bad. Good. Oh, we have 29 Terminators. Okay. Odd amount, but there you go. Right. Attack. We'll just use first company. And they immediately get obliterated. 12 Rhinos, 6 Land Raiders, 4 Dreadnoughts, 29 Terminators, Chapter Master, Forge Master, Cannons, Tactical Marines, and Devastators. Nice. I must admit, having 2 battle barges, which gives you the firepower that you need to do bombardments and stuff, and having full complement of 1,000 Marines plus the resources, is good. Sometimes it's nice to have actual bloody resources and supplies. Anyone wounded? No. That's very good indeed. Damn, doing well. Ultramarines seem to be not too bad. Storm bolters are opening up, assault cannons are ripping through people apart, and we may as well land first company upon the world so they can get the free attack bonus. Offensive, because we're just going to gut these guys, and we shot them to death. I like the one missile launcher. That's going to be my personal amusement right now. Bright warp. Good. It'd be cool if you could get the Macragg's Honor, use like a Sortis-long battleship to represent the Macragg's Honor, because it's cool that the Ultramarines have a Gloriana still. The Ultramarines and the Dark Angels are the only ones of the original legions left to have a Gloriana. I mean, I know the Nemesis guys do have a Gloriana, Nemesis chapter. Orks on... Okay, that's interesting. We'll have to divert reinforcements to go that way fairly quick. It's weird. But yes, the original legions to have ruddy... Cool. finished having a look at McCrag, and we have nothing to hide, which is nice. Yeah, Gloriana class battleships. Dark Angels and the Ultramarines are the only ones left with them. Which is kind of interesting, because there's never any mention about what happens to the red tier, the Blood Angels Gloriana. Although, considering Dante's flagship is a battle barge, we can assume it was destroyed. No mention of whatever happened to the Iron Hands Gloriana. It was damaged before Isfahan, which is why it didn't attend. But then there's no mention of what happened afterwards. Oh yeah, the Eternal Crusader. That's the only other Gloriana we know where it is, and that's because the Imperial Fists gave it to Sigismund, so it's now the flagship of the Black Templars, which is appropriate and fitting. The Salamanders one was destroyed over Isfahan Free, same with the Raven Guard one. The Swordstorm was destroyed during the Heresy. The Harafnakal. What happened to the Harafnakal? Because what's happening on Fandos? I'm seeing some Ultramarines over there to have a look. But, as I was saying, the Harafnakal, it was damaged at the Battle of Trisolian, but it wasn't destroyed, so what happened to it? I imagine the Harafnakal is the ship that Russ took into the Eye of Terror with him, on board his little Endeavour, so I imagine that's where it ended up, but it'd be nice to know what happened to it, because Glorianas are pretty awesome, and they actually, I remember they said it took, to build each Gloriana took 10% of the capacity of Mars, in terms of resources and expertise to actually build a single one, which is why they didn't build that many of them. So you'd think that the Glorianas they had left would actually have been appropriate, would have actually had some reasons to be around. No obvious corruption. 7% corruption. Okay. Just in case, we'll lead a selective no purge there. What about this one? Purge. No heresy around there either, so it's just this one. So again, we'll do a cleanse by fire just to ensure that we got rid of them all. You don't want heretics in your soup, or heretics upon your planet. Alright, well, ooh. I'm such a rookie. I'm such a rookie. That's what we should have done at the start, and we also should have bloody put that up to moderate. Honestly, rookie mistake. Alright, well I'm going to keep playing this for a little while. Ooh. Especially since we have an orc world we've missed we can go deal with next time. So thank you very much for putting up with my little rants and talks while I play some Chapter Master. I actually had fun doing this, believe it or not. Sometimes I play Chapter Master and I don't have fun, but right now I'm actually happy, I'm contented. And yes, I'm keeping up to date with the Only War Chapter Master version. So I haven't done a video on that for a while because I still don't think it's quite up to snuff for me to display it on the channel any more than just to let you know it exists. And I'm probably going to source the Only War, the Imperial Guard version of Chapter Master. Sorry, brain was jumping somewhere else there. And do a video on that. But that might not be until next week or the week after. So I have to juggle my university stuff, home life, and my club commitments. So hopefully that should be alright. But I will be out next weekend because I'm going to a gun show, but that'll be fine. Alright, thank you very much for enduring this if you did, and cheery bye.